Growing up for me was a very, very lonely and very isolating experience. I always had quite short hair anyway because I've always had quite curly hair. So my whole life I've been, I don't want to say mistaken for a boy, but from the age of about 2.5, 3, pretty much as soon as I could speak, I was telling my parents that I was a boy. My parents, used to say to me, "Don't be so silly, darling. Of course you're not. No, no, this is our little girl. This is our little girl." I felt lost. I felt confused. I felt there was no one I could talk to. I was quite badly bullied at school because of it and taunted with lots of horrible names. For the first, I think, probably 10 years of my life, I prayed to God that I'd wake up as a boy, as I was supposed to be. I never thought that I'd be happy. All I wanted was just to be a normal little boy. And this is how I felt for pretty much all my formative years, probably until the age of about 16 or 17. But even then, trans people on television were represented in such a negative light, being wheeled out largely as freaks or the sort of butt of the joke on television. There were no resources, there was no education, no laws to protect us. I never thought that I'd live any sort of happy, normal lifestyle. Had we been sort of 10 years later, I think there would have been a lot more understanding. Obviously, with legislation comes a turn and a tipping point with regards to representation in the media. There is an impetus on programmers and on people within the industry and within the arts to recognise that and to make allowances and to sort of promote understanding and tolerance towards those minorities that previously hadn't been recognised. By the time I came to transitioning, the 2004 Gender Recognition Act had already come into effect. So I wasn't one of those people that wasn't quite considered a citizen. I'm really lucky in that by the time I wanted to change my birth certificate, I was able to. And by the time I wanted to change my passport and the gender on that, I was able to. And by the time, I wanted to go to the gender identity clinic and start taking hormones and so on, we were much further along than had it happened pre-legislation in 2004. I've always looked on all my photos, all my identification photos and passports and so on, like a little boy. So I guess when I finally changed that little F becomes a little M, it was the first time that things made sense, I guess. It really did feel like things were finally falling into place. People understand things so very clearly as boy or girl, pink or blue, man or woman. Actually being able to finally be seen as the man, as the male that you are on your birth certificate was just amazing. It just felt right.